with this Geek Drive.
Welcome back to the Power to the Ground podcast, your home of motocross and supercross news for the fans and by the fans. I'm your host, Jesse. This is episode 61. I am joined, as always, by my man, Doug, over there in the, what are we calling that now? The Sunstar Studios?
Sure. Why not? I don't know. I just call it my basement, dude.
So tonight we're going to be talking some round 9.
Yeah, Daytona round 9.
Wow.
That's not gonna lie, I literally just watched most of the races like as soon as I got off work at like 4:30.
Oh, it's good.
So,
no. So we're not talking about Daytona tonight. We're gonna preview. So
yeah.
I think the way that this is going to work for a couple of weeks, we're just going to do a preview show, and I'm going to hopefully start moving towards adding a recap show earlier in the week.
Yeah.
But not quite there yet. So for those of you watching this live, don't forget to like, share, and comment, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. You'll see the comments flowing on the screen from both places, so you guys feel free to have conversations with each other across platforms. We'll do our best to keep up with those comments throughout the show. For those of you listening on audio, we are doing this podcast on Facebook Live and YouTube Live every Thursday at 7 p.m. EST. Hope you can tune in and join us for the fun next week. It's been a long day.
You're telling me, man.
I know. You're pedal to the metal as well. It's so crazy, man. It's weird where we both hit this stride at the same time, and we're in two completely different industries.
Yeah, like my industry, it makes sense because everything's starting,
right?
You know, with yours, I guess it's just the summer, so people are ready to get out and do stuff.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've never been in that industry, man. So,
before we start, please consider heading over to www.power2theground.com and making a small donation on the donate page. There are some things that these donations are going to be used for specifically that I will get into details probably in the coming weeks. We've definitely got some stuff going on, and Doug, I will talk to you about that before we make the public announcement. Has a little bit to do with the stuff that we're talking about towards the end of this episode. But any amount that you can give helps big time. So jump over to the donate page on the website. Feel free to donate whatever you want. Most of the donations that I've been seeing have been $10. So that's a huge help for all of you who have donated already. Thank you so much. It is a huge, huge help. If you want something in return, it is also advisable to jump over to our merch store and grab some merch for you. And we do have a special offer for you today.
Do it for Dale.
Do it for Dale t-shirts. We've got a Do It for Dale. If you use that coupon code down at the bottom, all caps, Do It for Dale. When you check out with the Do It for Dale t-shirt, you will get 20% off on it. We've sold a few already. Please jump over and check those out. Doug's
grabbed a couple.
Yeah, I saw that. You were the first one to snatch a couple up. And
Steve,
you even changed your profile picture to the design on Facebook. I saw.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. I love it. That's I went back and rewatched the Daytona race just for that. So, oh dang, it's old B Carter and my mom.
Ooh.
Look at that. We're getting fans.
So if none of those things work for you guys and you're watching this, please feel free, drop some comments in the comments section, hit that like button and like or subscribe. I think I gave some bum scoop last week. That subscribe button on Facebook apparently has not been added yet. But
so you have like insider information?
Yeah, they've been talking about it in like a bunch of marketing channels for the past couple of weeks. But one of the ones that I was a podcast that I was listening to, it made it sound like it had already happened, but it's just in the works. But it's supposed to be relatively soon, so Facebook will be YouTube here pretty soon.
Nice. Hopefully I don't get banned. Well, I already get in trouble on Facebook, but hopefully my videos don't get banned on Facebook. So yeah, that's pretty exciting, I guess.
Yeah. We're going to try something a little bit. I want to try doing the track map video on here. So we'll see if we get kicked off the YouTube live stream when that happens. So for those of you on YouTube right now, when we get to the track map video, if the live stream stops, please jump over to Facebook and finish out the live stream with us over there. If that does happen, we really apologize. It's not really, there's really not much that we can do about it at this point. It just,
yeah, we're trying to get all the paperwork done so that we have the ability to do that. And what really chaps my ass is they'll sit there and bust me for trying to highlight the sport and bringing stuff on. But then you got goons that are there like live streaming the whole race.
right.
You know, like, come on, guy. You know, like,
It's all about paperwork, man. I've literally got a sticky right here with a fax number to 100 and a address at 100 University City Plaza somewhere in LA that they want me to send a bunch of paperwork to so that we can go through and get the rights to actually talk about this and not get shut down on YouTube. So
it would be great.
That would be fantastic. That would be a whole load of weight off of probably both of our shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm tired of having to wait 30 days after the upload for people to see my stuff. So, but
sure.
It is what it is, man.
Yep.
So
gotta put in the work first, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So let's jump into it. Actually, you know what? You want to do some shout outs before we jump into it?
Yeah, of course. So we got the world famous bro taco sauce, you know, our boy Sean over there knocking it out in his kitchen, you know. Use code PTTG. That's kind of hard to say fast, man. I just realized that. So if you say use code PTTG, you will save 20% on your bro taco hot sauce. I just got my new fill in for my brap sauce, and it came in. Now you guys probably saw the picture. Whole order number 100. Got to throw it out, you know. And then we have Sunstar, the number one OEM chain manufacturer. We're killing it in aftermarket right now. Hit me up at Sunstar on our website. We have a support email. I'll do what I can to try to help you out. Obviously, the industry's crazy, so I can't guarantee anything that day, but I'll definitely try to hook you up as best I can. So that's same with braking. I'll do the same thing. So we sell both Sunstar and braking. I just have to get a braking sticker, which I don't have, you know, but we'll definitely we'll do our best, you know, just say, hey, Jesse sent me or the show sent me, and I'll do what I can. So
sweet. And we will be for Couch Cross, we will be giving away some Sunstar certs over there.
Yeah, I still got it's still sitting right next to all my stuff, man. I still have this Fox 180 gear that will knock out. So it looks like that.
And I've talked to Sean. Sean is up for it. Sean's going to be giving away some Bro Taco stuff. So yeah, I mean, we got some fun stuff. We'll see if we can hook you guys up with some other stuff on the way there too. Maybe somebody else wants to get involved in the Couch Cross craze. Couch Cross craze. That's a lot of alliteration there.
So I have a race that morning, so hopefully I'm not completely destroyed by the by Supercross, you know. But it's we'll figure something out, man. Thinking, kicking around, having some people over and stuff for it too, so that we can do that'll be our third Couch Cross.
It would be the third one, yes.
We're doing it for Dale.
Doing it for Dale.
Greatest podium interview ever, man. That dude cracks me up. But yeah, so it's I don't know. We might have to have it kind of crazy. I'll have to set my camera up towards the front of the screen so that we can have a bunch of fun, man. So
yeah. We will we'll be set up in my living room again, and you'll be able to, you know, catch little glimpses of my TV in the reflection on the the picture behind us. So if you can't stream it, we got some of it covered for you at the very least. At least our reactions.
Yeah. It's the one thing that we have noticed though is the NBC app, cable, and Peacock are all on different times.
Right.
So it ranges, but it's still fun. You deal with it. It's the old interwebs, man. So it's never going to be perfect.
Right. Yeah, we've noticed that a couple of times where we were mid couch cross and we would see some comments come through on the stream about something that happened on the race that we didn't see yet. And we're like, oh, we'd see it like 4 minutes later.
It makes me watch a lot harder though, because I'm like, what are they talking about? Like get all up on the edge of my seat. But
so that is couch cross. Be on the lookout on the Facebook page for some extra details coming through over the next over the next week and a half, I guess, detailing the round 11 couch cross. And that is that. So let's jump into some round 10 talk here.
Yeah.
Let's
good old Arlington.
I know I saw Austin was happy that they're heading back to Texas. And Austin just grabbed himself an AP shirt, a Do It For Dale t-shirt.
Hell yeah. If that thing comes in time, I might have to wear it to the track. Man.
You should. You absolutely should. Pretty proud of that design. It was I mean, it was your idea for sure. But
no, that's in it together, man.
It together. With our powers combined.
Right. Watch out, Mathis.
This is a new camera. This is my new streaming camera. I'm waiting for new streaming lights to come in because this camera is a much higher quality camera than I have been using, but it requires a lot more lighting to make it not look so dramatic like it does right now.
Right.
I look like I'm in a scene from The Notebook right now.
Never saw it, so I'll take your word for it.
You got it.
You could have said like Rambo or Aliens or something cool like that.
Aliens, I guess, would work.
Yeah.
Maybe some Star Wars.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You just need you need to wear a sheet or something over your head, not like a cape, a robe, I guess is what they call them.
Yeah, we'll stay away from the sheets on the head, Doug.
Good call. My bad. I don't think about that stuff, man. I just say it when it comes out.
All right, let's jump into the injury report for Arlington. As I'm scrolling through here, it didn't look like there is anything much different than there was last week. Brayton's back. Cartwright is in. Santarulo's still out. Entiknap's still out. Harlan's out. Osborne's out. Poltelli's out. Stevenson's out. I don't think any of those are different from last week. So I'm pretty sure we have the same 450 lineup this week as we did last week.
Yeah, Tickle's racing then, huh? That was a hard get off, man.
Yep.
That's good.
I agree. I don't want to see this this lineup get thinned out any more than it has already.
Yeah.
So moving over to the 250 side, which there's a lot more going on with that one, as half the field ended up going down. But Jeremy's still out. I'll just go through the list here. Dakota Alex back out. Sean Cantrell, collarbone out. Brighton Carroll, ribs, sternum, foot out. Was Carroll the one? Is he one of the ones that caused the restart? I think he is. I mean,
think
there's so many restarts in the LCQ last week that it was kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, I ended up fast forwarding through most of it, just because it was crazy, And then I was glad to see another one that I'm surprised didn't get too injured was Sipes.
Yeah, I was happy to see Sipes out there in the first place.
He's the general. If it's got two wheels and a motor and he's close by, he'll race it, and he don't care.
Yeah, I know that I'm not the only one that was excited to see him out there, because during the broadcast, they laid out his entire schedule for 2021 and what he's racing, where and when.
Yeah, that's whenever I feel like I'm too busy, I just go look at his schedule, man, because he posts it up pretty often, and I'm like, I'm kind of a crybaby,
So I was happy to see he's going to be at Erzberg.
Yeah,
I'll be watching that.
He's been working hard to get there, man. So I'm glad to see it showing up, And a lot of people get mad at me because I say, like, for overall just dirt bike stuff, like, he's the GOAT, man. He's hands down. He might be one of the best all around disciplined guys that we've ever seen. And people get mad. And they're like, no, Ricky or Ricky or McGrath or Stu. And I'm like, you guys aren't listening to what I'm saying. Like, when did either one of those guys or any of those guys go out and run cross country, hill climbs, flat tracks, and then show up at a Supercross and then go join a freestyle competition just because he happened to be in the state, Right. Nobody does that stuff, man. Like, the general is nuts.
Sipes cross, man. That's the Sipes cross. I remember hearing him talk about that. Yeah, it would be amazing.
The only one I heard that definitely said that he's down to do it was Pastrana, which doesn't surprise me.
No.
He's the same way.
Yeah.
I think Bradshaw even said, being as ancient as he is, said that he'd be down to at least try it. He doesn't know if he's going to complete a lap, but he would try it. So it's stuff like that I like.
Tiller says, let me put his comment up here. Is Amart going to be worn out from Daytona, or is a race under his belt and a week back up?
So the one thing that I know about the Martin brothers is they're both in incredible shape. Granted, a hand injury, like we talked about last week, can definitely affect your cardio and stuff like that, but he didn't look bad. It looked like he took his time. He probably didn't do too much training and stuff like that. So it's I think he'll be all right. If it was a triple crown, I could probably see it. If it was a triple crown, I'd be like, but the race time off, race again, I think he'll be all right. I honestly do. He's in great shape, man. So
yeah, he is always the troll train is always ready to go. It's always packed and ready to go. I don't foresee that being a big issue.
No, and if it does, it'll be towards the end when everyone else is tired too,
Right. Exactly. Let's see. Martin Costello. I think he was another one of those flags. He broke his hand. He's out. Joey Crown.
He looked
knocked out for a while at Daytona.
He looked very promising, and then I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah. I don't think he was one of the. Was he one of the sand guys? Did he end up going down in the sand? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to watch the races back. But Derek Drake, femur out. Mitchell Falk, leg out. Bryson Gardner, back pelvis out. Mason Gonzalez, leg ankle out. Enzo Lopes, shoulder wrist out. Jeremy Martin, shoulder out. Jace Owen, knee out. Dylan Schwartz, banged up, whatever that's supposed to mean.
He probably feels like I do after trying to keep up with Carter the whole weekend, man.
And then, Jordan Smith is TBD for this week.
Ooh, what happened to him?
Smith was somehow able to race the Daytona main event after another rider's foot peg left a gash in his backside that required roughly 20 stitches. He hopes to be ready for Arlington 1.
Like his back or like Forrest Gump style? Forrest
Gump style, yeah.
Oh,
lots of
I
ice
couldn't
cream.
imagine that. My one kid, Axel, he got that. I have dirt bike pegs on my Sportster, and he fell on one of them, and he got that. Not on his back, on his side, but those things are ridiculously sharp. Especially a lot of these guys are running like the Flow titaniums.
Yep.
I mean, they're crazy sharp, you know. So yeah. I guess that doesn't surprise me, but I wouldn't want to race with 20 stitches in my butt, dude. Like,
no, you're gonna end up standing the entire time.
Yeah, and hopefully it doesn't get infected.
Yeah,
you know, from sweating in it and all that. It's not worth it. It's better to take care of yourself and have both butt cheeks at the end of the day than get in trouble and have to lose your whole career plus a butt cheek.
I remember for one of the Salt Lake City races last year, they were showing Tomac's boots, and his boot was on the foot peg, and they showed it at an angle so you could actually see the teeth on the foot pegs that he uses. And his foot pegs in particular looked like some sort of a medieval torture device.
Yeah, it's basically like just taking the lower jaw off of a great white shark and sticking it on the side of your boot, man. You know, like, or the side of your bike. It's, right. I mean, the ones even on my ATV are they're bigger than your standard foot peg on a dirt bike, you know. They're real sharp and stuff, but it's nothing like what's like. I'm pretty sure they have one of their mechanics just sitting there with a file and sharpening these things in between races. You know, like, they're crazy.
So that's it for the injuries. So for everybody out there right now, we're going to jump into the track, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit. So let's all keep our fingers crossed that we don't get kicked off of our YouTube stream here. If we do get kicked off of the YouTube stream, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, please jump over to Facebook and finish out the stream with us over there. And if that does happen, I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do about it for right now, except for next time, don't do it again. So we'll learn our lesson. So I'm gonna play the track map video right now, and we will be right back after this is over. Oh, I guess we can talk while we're watching this too. All right, so that tabletop right there is pretty weird.
I think it'll be an entertaining track. I'm gonna miss the sand from Daytona.
Yeah, me too. They put a Dragon's back in there. I'm pretty surprised that they put a Dragons back in after all the complaining that we got last week from Daytona track. This is pretty cool. The split section.
Yeah, I thought that too. I'm glad to see him kind of getting out of the box, you know.
Yeah. There was a right before the whoop section right there. There's a turn. Let's see. Is everybody still here? I'm looking at it. We made it through. Hey. So, yep. The YouTube stream stayed up. That's awesome. Glad to see that.
Nice.
Good to see. So that last part right before if you guys have any thoughts on the track, go ahead and let us know in the comments. We'll have a little discussion about this right now. Anticipation. Yeah, Austin. It worked. That the turn right before the whoop section, there's a jump into the turn. I don't know if you caught that or not, but I think that is gonna be a little I bet that's gonna take some 250 riders out. That's my guess.
It could. It's hard to say. I can see more 250 guys getting thrown off by the whoops because we'll have an actual, what I think I counted 10 whoops instead of 8. So I can see them getting hung up there a little bit more. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Did you see? I do like the tabletops, Austin. The first tabletop on that track, though, it's almost got a jump at the end of the tabletop.
Yeah.
So it's not like a true tabletop. It's like a half tabletop.
It's like a step on, jump off.
Almost, yeah.
Is that a thing?
Tabletop with 2 broken legs. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a Goodwill table, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an IKEA table.
Yeah. It'll be an entertaining track. I was talking to Forrest Butler earlier in the week, and he said that they're honestly in like an evolution phase where they're kind of waiting to see what the bikes and riders are not necessarily peak out at, but where this generation is kind of going before they start really throwing the kitchen sink at the indoor tracks, the Supercross tracks. So it'll definitely be entertaining to see if we might not see anything this season, you know, because we're already halfway through it. But the following seasons, with the generation of riders that are coming up that have a little bit more say in the tracks, it'll definitely be entertaining to kind of see what their input is coming from, you know, modern day arena cross tracks and stuff like that. So it'll definitely, I have an anticipation for it, I guess, you know, because to me, the tracks they've been kind of stagnant over the years, you know, so
For sure.
it's and then bringing in like Atlanta Motor Speedway so that we have almost 2 Daytonas. I know it's hard to top Daytona, but to add another Supercross style track in a small area like that surrounded by asphalt and concrete, I think that's awesome, you know.
I agree.
It's I guess we just have to wait and see, you know. He didn't have much in terms of when we might see the evolution of the Supercross track move on to the next generation, but he said that it should be very soon. So that's it's good news for you guys out there that are kind of like me, where you're like, this is just kind of an arena cross track on steroids or a longer one, you know. So, and I think it is primarily because I am an outdoor guy. I do prefer outdoors. I like the elevation changes, the speed, the big jumps, the choppiness of it. I like all that. It doesn't make it for better racing, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, some of the races get very boring, especially when Tomac's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna be gone by 12 seconds. I'm going to stop and eat lunch before I have to worry about the second place guy coming across the line. So I have to get ready for my interview, but I'm still happy to see that they're not kind of resting for the next round. You know what I mean? Like the next season or the next group of guys, and I was also happy to hear that they're actually starting to take a little bit more of the riders' input and the team owners and managers and mechanics input into the track design itself. So where I think the first, all last season, it was just like, let's see what Ricky comes up with. Let's see what Ricky comes up with. Let's see what Chad Reed wants to change on Ricky's design, like, so it'll be entertaining, I think. So,
yeah, I think last year, I mean, a lot of the design was probably in the Salt Lake City part of it after, everything went down. And I feel like they just gave Ricky a bunch of crayons and let him go to town.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he does, like, this Daytona track is a prime example that he does have a lot of creativity when it comes to making a track. I mean, this was probably one of my favorite tracks for a while, that we've seen in a number of years. So
yeah, that was something that Steve and I had talked about. I think I can say with almost absolute certainty that last week's Daytona track was my favorite track that I can remember seeing in Supercross.
Yeah. And I think what really made the difference for me was the deep sand, the long, flat landing jumps, the over-unders that are mixed. Like, he just really was like, all right, well, how much space do I have? And let's make it fast but flowy. And now let's slow them down by adding random weird obstacles.
Right. Off kilter jumps and everything like that. So my dad had a couple of good points here. Let's start with this one. The option jump where it's a split, it does look like they could actually bypass those jumps as far as that track video goes.
Yeah, that's when I saw the track video earlier today. I was like, I wonder what smartass is going to try to go in between them until the officials yell at him. And you're never going to know unless you try,
Right.
I mean, I'm not in the riders meeting or whatever, but it's, it'll be, because it's not a good place to put a tough block, even though they might try, that's, so I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, that sure will be. Let's see how many penalties we see get racked up at that spot.
Because it's in between the barriers, so it's technically not cutting the track.
Exactly. Yeah.
All you're going to do is scrub that jump anyway. So what's the difference?
And then he says the tracks seem to have more jumps and less turns, and that's absolutely true. That's part of what we were just talking about. Is like they've just kind of stagnated as far as the track design goes.
They're definitely trying to play towards that crowd. Everyone wants to see a motorcycle jump type fan, whereas a lot of us, especially like listening to this show, I mean, we followed it for a number of years, and I want to see good racing. I want to see a good championship. I want to see him really duke it out, come down to the last 3 rounds, and that's what we're getting so far this year. But it's not because of the track design. It's because of whoever can start the best,
Yeah, the jumps, that it's really, how do we make this as much like the X Games as possible while it's still being racing? That's really the thought process.
It's basically rallycross for motorcycles.
So that's it for the track map. Let's jump into some predictions. What do you think?
I don't know. It's going to be hard. This is still a West Coast race, right?
This is
They're
still
off
West
for
Coast.
Coil Row. Yeah. So, I mean, you got Coop, Marchbanks, and I mean McAdoo came out swinging. So
Yeah, he
if
did.
he can carry that momentum, it's really a toss up between those three. I feel like right now, Amart is there, but he's not there. You know,
Right.
I'm gonna have to put Coop up front, McAdoo, and then Marchbanks for my 250 guys. And then
That's my exact
go ahead.
250 pick. So we'll just go ahead.
And that's yeah. I mean, I don't know who else to pick.
Right.
It's Styles Robertson looked good, but he's still young. So I mean, we all know my feelings on young riders. I want to see him do good, but I'm not going to put any stock into him. You know, you have Pierce Brown, who's the same way. He has flashes in the pan. You know, he's a really he's a smooth rider, you know, which I think helps him out a lot, you know, but it's, I think just for speed and almost an expertise when it comes to a racecraft in the 250s, I have to go with those three every time until we start getting like J-Mart back and stuff like that. So
right.
It's, and we might not even get him back by the end of the season. Who knows, you know?
It would be smart of him to like he's not going to win. He's not going to win a championship now.
Yeah, go start practicing outdoors, man.
Yeah, exactly. Just prepare for outdoors and just call it a season.
Yeah. So it's, and then 450s. I mean, Tomac got his 1 out of 2 great starts that he's going to get every year, you know. So it's I don't know. I would probably put Tomac third, Broxton second, and Webb first, because I think Webb is hungry right now. Webb is he's definitely a contender. But now, I mean, we still have the guys that we've been talking about all year that are coming up too. I mean, we have Mookie look super strong, and he's been super consistent. We have, you know, AP that's right there with Mookie. Like those two just link up and go, you know. And it's we still have Anderson that's hanging out. He's been pretty decent. So it's, I don't know, it's hard, but I'm gonna have to stick with my top 3, man. But I want to see AP back on that podium, man. That's my guy.
So I'm gonna go crazy here. I'm gonna say Roxon wins with my number 1, Kenny. I'm gonna say AP takes the number 2 spot.
What?
Yeah, I'm putting him up there. I'm telling you, there was a sparkle in his eye, and I'm rolling with it. I get a gut feeling.
He's fast, man. He just couldn't ever put it together. And when he puts it together, dude, he ran away from Webb. I think maybe his fitness and conditioning aren't on par with Webb, but he's also not working with Alden Baker for years and years, you know. Right. So I don't know. Who's your number 3 though? Don't say Mookie. Are you gonna say Mookie?
No, I'm gonna put Webb in the number 3 spot.
Okay. I could see a battle turning out in between Webb and Plessinger though.
Yeah,
you know, like sure. You have the super intense guy and the other guy that's just like, whatever, man, you know. But when they had a pretty decent battle, not only in the heat but also the main, and it's I was excited. We were collecting all the donations and stuff on Saturday, and I had the race playing on my phone on my pickup truck bed or on the tailgate, and I'm like yelling, and people are looking at me, and I'm like, don't mind me, you know. Like, so.
Dude, it was awesome to see. It was so fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like that interview at the end, there's just something about his demeanor right now. I'm feeling a wave, feeling a blue wave.
It almost felt like he quit trying so hard, and he just wants to have fun now, you know. And for somebody that has always been just kind of fly by the seat of their pants, which AP feels like he is. I mean, he still puts in all the work that everybody else does, but he doesn't have that I'm going to go out and win. I'm going to go out and win. I'm going to go out and win. He has that, I'm going to go out and do the best that I can. And that's going to be the best that I can do. And sometimes I'll win and sometimes I won't. Like, I've accepted that attitude. Right. And I think it leads to a very fluid rider, you know? So.
Agreed. So I'll be on the lookout for the AP7.
Oh, I will too. I still want Roxon to win the championship, but if AP even makes one pass for like 21st, I'm still back there like, yeah. You know? Yeah.
Hopefully my Do It for Dale t-shirt comes in time for Couch Cross, because I've turned into an AP7 fan, so I will be.
I don't know how you can't like him, man. There's some people that are like, he should lose his ride. And I'm like, you have never paid attention to this kid.
Right.
He's
he was a rock star on 250.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a big jump, though, from 250 to 450.
It is. Yeah. It's I hope what we're seeing right now is just a growth evolution, and that we will see him like up towards the top now.
Yeah. Well, now he's battling against like some guys that were 450 pros when he was still running pro sport at freaking Loretta Lynn's, man.
Right.
So it's, I mean, there's a pretty decent age gap as far as like 450 pro career is in this field right now. So it's it'll definitely be interesting to watch.
Speaking of age, how old is Plessinger?
Oh, he's got to be
mid-20s, probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have the GNCC results on my phone, but let me pull it up real quick. Okay. I want to say it. For some reason,
I know he's not
27 old. Is jumping out at me, but yeah, he's definitely young. He looked like he was 45, like straight out of the trailer park in his interview, but he's I mean, he didn't leave much left on the track, and I think that's the most important thing, no matter what you're racing, is you don't want to leave anything out on the track, you know, or like the football field or the hockey ice or rink or whatever, you know, like you go out there and you give it everything you got every time. So that's let's see, he turned AMA Pro in 2015, and he was born January 25th of 1996.
Really?
All right.
So he's 25.
Yeah, he's a young buck, man. And that's, I think that's the most important thing that people forget about a lot of these kids, is that they're kids, man. Like, they're young. They're dealing with more life than most of what we do, you know. I mean, they're professional athletes with cameras and stuff in front of them, and they're going out there and performing in front of thousands of people, and you forget the pressure that is on somebody, especially somebody young that hasn't had the time to really mature with that kind of stuff. So
right,
it's that's why I'm always a little hesitant about those kids, man. That's
you never know how they're going to react.
No, they could turn out to be Tomacs, Roxons, Webbs, or J-Laws, you know.
Right.
I mean, you just don't know how the pressure is going to deal with somebody, and especially going from 250 to 450, that's a lot of pressure, not only from your team, but the people that are like, oh, he won back-to-back 250 championships, he's going to go on a 450 and win. You're like,
oh, Dean Wilson.
Let's shoot for top 10 first, you know, like pump the brakes a little bit. So
right.
It's I don't know. We'll see. I'm just glad that he got a podium. Even if that's his only podium for his whole career, I don't care. I saw it, and it was the best interview that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Do it for Dale. Woo!
Oh yeah. He's like, I just want to show off my mustache and mullet. You know. How can you not like that? That's so wholesome, man.
That's so good.
And the best part is if you run into him in real life, it's the same guy. Like, he acts the same way that you just saw on that interview podium. So it's just hard not to like somebody like that, you know. Like, he's just a fun guy. So
We'll be rooting for them, wearing our Do It for Dale t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, if you guys just joined the stream, if you would like your very own Do It for Dale t-shirt, you can jump over to www.power2theground.com and you can go to our store and use coupon code all caps Do It for Dale for 20% off on that Do It for Dale t-shirt. I wish I had one on right now to show everyone, but I haven't gotten them in yet, so I can't. I could show you the graphic.
Yeah, you'll have to jump over to our Facebook page and take a look at the picture, which I immediately stole upon posting and put it up as my profile picture. But
it's a fun little design. It's AP doing a thing like this where he's holding a Monster can, but it might as well be a Coors Light.
Bush latte, man.
and yelling, "Do it for Dale!" Woo!
Right. Oh man.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Good stuff. So that's it. That's our predictions for round 10 of the 2021 Supercross season. We've got we're only going to have seven more races, and then so after Couch Cross next week there is a break. There's a 2-week break in the season, and we will be taking a break with the season for that time frame afterwards. We'll remind everybody of that as well.
Yeah, it's depending on what race I'm on, I might jump on Facebook Live though and just do something real quick on one of the weekends.
You do you, man.
Yeah, it's so if you don't know, I get around. So it's
Doug gets around. That's gonna be a t-shirt.
Right.
It's gonna be a picture of you going like this, and it's gonna say I get around.
Right. I need those power to the ground skivvies in my hand though. But it's so that's kind of I figured just now actually that while there is down weeks, instead of having nothing to do and us just kind of talking back and forth on Clubhouse, if I'm at a race, man, I'll jump on, even if it's one of my own and you guys got to see me all sweaty and dirty and covered in mud, but I'm walking around the races just talking about them, then sorry, it's what you're gonna get. You know. So it's all in good fun though, and it's really just for the love of the sport, you know. Like I love Supercross and motocross just as much as I love cross country and enduro. So I mean, it's you find me somewhere, anywhere. So I'm actually next week I'm putting together my travel plans to kind of go around and hit up like different works races or outdoor nationals and just anything. I might get down for some of the sprint enduro races down south. It's you never know. I think everybody, pretty much everybody who listens to this is just, if it's dirt bike racing, they're all for it. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So I don't think we'll have any pushback with that. I'm going to try to make it out to some of the local races in my area during the racing season over here, just to do a little bit of outreach and, you know, throw some cameras on people, do some reporting.
So you were saying in our last Clubhouse talk, like Moto Supercross talk thing, that they finally brought a track back, like that's kind of close to you, you know.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
So the most of the races that I'm going to end up going to are going to be like enduro style. So they won't be on a motocross track, but still go out and talk to some of the riders. But yeah, my dad and my brother and my nephew just went and rode at that track yesterday, MX 691 in Tiverton, Rhode Island. It is like, it's the only legal place to ride a dirt bike within the that anybody can go ride. That's not like on private land. in the boundaries of Rhode Island. So it's groundbreaking, history making. But segue into what I wanted to talk about towards the end here. So there has been in Rhode Island, there's been a lot of news stories over the past few days about dirt bikes, and I haven't been a fan of them.
Are they like dirt bike bad? They have tattoos and probably ingest all the marijuanas. Like,
so there's in Providence, which if you guys aren't from Rhode Island, is the capital of Rhode Island. There's a lot of people who are just grabbing their dirt bikes, 2 strokes, 4 strokes, doesn't matter what it is, and they'll just be wheeling down the street in the middle of the city, swerving inside in between traffic, running from cops on the dirt bikes, cutting through people's yards on dirt bikes. The cops have a hard time catching them because they cut through people's yards on the dirt bikes. Just acting like idiots. And we've had a couple of kids die running from cops on dirt bikes in the last 6 to 9 months. We just had a big arrest, kids running from cops on dirt bikes, and they caught them this time, and they got arrested. And that was just a couple of days ago, and that's why this whole conversation has been sparked. But the local news in my area has been bringing people in, experts, to talk about this, and there are people who are claiming to be spokespeople and advocates for the ATV and off-road community. If you guys are in Rhode Island, if you have watched any of these news things and you're not an off-road person or whatever, we do not claim these people. They do not represent the off-road community at all. They're trying to make a case that people should be able to ride their dirt bikes through the streets and in the inner cities, and no, they shouldn't be able to. That's not a thing. They're conflating two issues of there not being anywhere to ride in the state of Rhode Island and people being able to just ride like idiots through the middle of a city.
So they're taking almost like the skateboarding of the 90s approach.
100%. In fact, they're saying that there's just like the skateboarding community. No, it's not just like the skateboarding community. Very different.
Yeah.
There's some crossover as far as the people go, but a skateboard and a dirt bike are two very different things, and they should not be treated as the same. This is something I've reached out to a couple representatives in the state of Rhode Island to kind of talk about this, because we do have a new track. It's just one. I do agree with them on the fact that I have a dirt bike and I have to drive an hour to go ride my dirt bike. At least an hour. And that depends on which direction I decide to go in. It could be an hour and a half, 2 hours if I go in a certain direction. So there is a conversation to be had about bringing places to or creating places to ride within the boundaries of Rhode Island, so that the people who would be riding legally, if they had a chance to have a chance to ride legally, and then you can eliminate that variable, and everybody who is going to be riding like an idiot criminal anyways is going to, then you can sort them out however you need to. But so I'm not quite sure how we deal with this, but that was what I was talking about at the beginning of the broadcast when we were talking about donations. Some way, shape, or form, we are going to figure out a way to solve this problem of having places to ride inside of Rhode Island. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I will keep everybody posted on how that's going to happen. I'm sure Doug and I are going to have several conversations about possible solutions. He'll probably call me dumb a couple of times, which
That's
is
what
fine.
I'm here for, man.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta hear it sometimes, man. I gotta hear it sometimes.
And it's not that you're dumb. I'll be like, well, what do you really think the practicality and the feasibility of that idea is going to be, Jesse?
Bro,
you know,
let's just knock down all the buildings in Providence, just level the whole place. Giant MX track. Boom.
I mean,
Problem
I'm down.
solved. Yeah.
But I mean, that's not the adult answer, but I like it.
I like the passion. I hear the passion.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, and I grew up in Pennsylvania, and then I moved to California, and now I'm in Ohio. So I went from being able to pretty much ride wherever to only being able to ride in certain areas and having to pay an exorbitant amount to be able to ride in those areas, or be an outlaw and try to get away with it. But the cops are better riders than me. Who would have thought? And they happen to know the terrain better. And then coming to Ohio, where there's plenty of places to ride, I mean, it's the same way. It's an hour, 2 hours or something like that, but at least I have those places, I've been in, and it's all major cities, like that's the new thing to do is go get like a YZ 125 and then try to stun it on the road and put your stuff on YouTube. Right. And I'm not going to say I don't watch those videos. I don't go out of my way to find them, but at the same time, when they catch you and they take your bike, they crush it.
Yeah, that's what they do here too. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're not getting it back. That's one less motorcycle that we have,
Right.
So I mean,
and we have a big problem here too with stolen dirt bikes. So a lot of those bikes that are getting confiscated and crushed are somebody else's bike that got taken from them.
In the Ohio moto community right now, there's been so many where, hey, let's meet up here, bring the bike here so I can look at it and buy it, and then they get stolen, but there's guys getting like the crap beat out of them, not just their bike stolen, but like completely robbed. One guy got killed in Louisiana or something like that, but who was it? Noah Clark, the GNCC racer, got his bike stolen out of the bed of his truck down when they were just at Palaka. So it's like there, like right outside of the track.
Right.
So it's definitely not just centralized to that area, it's a real thing. But the Ohio moto communities kind of came together and came up with a list of places that are, I wouldn't say safe, but safer than other places to do transactions like that if you do want to sell your bike or something like that. And they've came up with like different rules and stuff like that, all just organically, man. And it's bad because that like you get your bike stolen, then you jump on YouTube and you see somebody stunting it down the road,
Right.
And they don't care. Like they'll try to get away from the cops, and if they blow it up, they blow it up. If they don't, and they get away or they get caught, and it gets crushed, and you're never getting your bike back. It doesn't matter if you have a title, if you have registration, it doesn't matter. There's a zero tolerance policy in most states for that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I mean, it's tough. It's a complicated issue. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's ever going to be just a single answer to something like this. I don't know. Having more riding areas will certainly help,
But this is the problem with this conversation is that right now we're having a conversation and there's two subjects that we're talking about. And the problem with this conversation is that they were conflating those two issues as if they were one single issue. And you can't look at it that way because there's for one, the two issues really have two different groups of people. Yeah. I mean, there might be some slight crossover between those two groups of people, the people who are riding legally, who just want somewhere to ride in Rhode Island, and then the people who are riding their bikes through the streets of Rhode Island. My guess is that there's no more than a 10% overlap in those two groups of people.
I think that's probably being generous with it too,
Right.
And that's, I mean, I just did the big 3 on my race quad, and I ripped it down the street, but I didn't go out there and like do wheelies and stuff like that. I just had to do a quick plug check just to make sure that I had it dialed right, but it was, I'm not going to sit there and ride right through town. I live pretty far outside of town, so there's no huge issue there, but and
one of these kids that just got caught the other day, when the cop pulled up on him, he pulled up his shirt and flashed a gun at the cop, as if
that's the smartest thing you can do. Yeah.
As if it was going to intimidate him. Like that, a place to ride in Rhode Island isn't stopping that guy from doing what he was doing.
Yeah. I mean, we can get into it. It sounds like a great topic to talk about tomorrow on Clubhouse, man.
Yeah, we should talk about that tomorrow on Clubhouse. It's true.
Yeah. I mean, we get some interesting people on Clubhouse. So, I mean, not that the people on here aren't interesting, but it's not exactly the main topic, and then we still have other stuff to go over. So I don't want to, and we can get sidetracked. We've had almost 2-hour conversations about hardly anything as complex as this issue.
Right.
But
all right.
It's,
that was it. I just wanted to give a little bit of background as far as what I was talking about. There'll be more information coming out as time goes on. When I get some sit downs with some of these people that I'm reaching out to, hopefully we can come up with some solutions. If you guys have any ideas and you want to throw them my way, feel free, hit us up on the Facebook page, hit me up on the website. And that's what I got, man.
Yeah, I got the GNCC from this weekend down at Wild Boar. That does not include Noah Clark getting his bike stolen. But it's so for the ATV PM guys, which I don't know if you caught the race Saturday before the Supercross race, it was an awesome race, man. It really
that was about.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It really came down to the last half a lap, and it turned out Bryson Neal, who's from right around here in Ohio, he broke the steering flag on his quad going through the mud holes, and these boys were sending it through those mud holes. I think, did I send you the video of the 4x4 guy that just laid on the back fender and just gave that Can-Am every little bit that it had? If I didn't, I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can find it again and throw it up on the Facebook so everybody can see it. I mean, when I say this, it was the hold my beer moment of the GNCC race. It was. But so we had Walker Fowler coming in first for his first win of this season in the XC1 Pro ATVs. We had Hunter Hart, who is a up and coming rookie. He came in second, and that kid definitely has the right last name. There is so much heart in that kid. I mean, he has no quit,
How old is he?
He's pretty young. I'll have to look.
Is it young 20s, teen?
He's got to be super young in his 20s. I don't even know if he's old enough to drink, to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
I mean, he's young. He's I'll ask him tomorrow. So he's a Sunstar guy. So I'll reach out to him tomorrow and see about him. And then we had Cole Richardson, another one from right around in this area, just over the border in PA. He came in third place, who had another excellent one. We had the Gator, Adam McGill, coming in fourth place. And then we had Jared McClure coming in fifth place with Chris Borich with an honorable mention in sixth place. That dude has been racing quads like half as long as I've been alive. I mean, it turned out to be a really good race on that one. And then for the Sunday's results, which are the bikes, we had another winner. We had Benjamin Kelly out of Connecticut, which is up there by you guys.
Yeah.
So apparently there are at least single track places to ride because this kid's coming out swinging, dude.
There definitely are single track places to ride, especially in Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine. There's definitely places to ride. Yeah.
And then, so he came in first overall. We had Josh Strang from Australia coming in second. Jordan Ashburn out of Tennessee coming in third. Grant Baylor coming in fourth out of South Carolina, who's Stu Baylor's brother. And if you guys don't know Stu Baylor and you want some personality on a bike, you got to find this dude on YouTube, man. This guy, I mean, he's great.
Yeah, they were talking about Grant on the broadcast.
Oh yeah,
at the very beginning that I caught right up until maybe 10 minutes into the race.
Yeah, and then we had Josh Toth, another one out of Connecticut, coming in fifth. So that would be your Pro Bike XC1. I think they call it Open Pro for your Sundays. And then we have a lot of the guys that I know of flew back up, left their stuff down there with their mechanics, flew back up so that they could work during the week, and then are flying back down today. So it's to meet up with their bike or with their mechanics and stuff like that, because we got Georgia coming up here. So we'll see. And that's once they start coming up here a little bit further, I'll start having some on-site footage and stuff like that from those guys.
Nice.
So I'll see if maybe I can get a hold of a couple of them, maybe a little bit before, try to do some stuff with those guys. So
yeah, and throw it out there if any of them have a open Thursday night and want to dial into the podcast with us and BS with us right here on the live stream.
Yeah, I've been trying to get Brandon Carter, who was on here earlier. He was the ATV 30 plus C-class national champion last year.
He's one of the ones that wrecked you the other day. Is that?
Yeah, not like wrecked me like we broke stuff, but I felt like I was broken, you know. So I've been trying to get him to come on. He's just a busy fella, you know, and so am I. So it's really it's hard trying to, and we both got young kids, so it's like, well, maybe after the kids go to bed. And then if you're a parent, you know, as soon as the kids go to bed, you're like, I just want to sit in my chair for like 30 minutes, watch some TV, and then go to bed myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so it's we'll get it figured out. We'll be at a couple races together this year, so maybe I'll just grab the old phone and we'll just do it right off the cuff, like I do most of my stuff anyway. So it's we'll see how it works out, man.
Yeah. And any of those things that you're doing on Facebook, if you think any of them work out for audio, just let me know. We'll throw it out there to the podcast realm.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, I'll open it up to all our listeners. I think there's a way that you can, like, if I'm out there doing something, you know, and you got some cool stuff to show off too, like you're at a track as well as I am, or whatever, you know, jump in there, and maybe we can do like a co-stream or something like that, so that we can really get some moto stuff going, you know. I haven't figured out all this technology stuff, you know, but I'm getting there. It's I'll be tinkering around with stuff. So
Coda, I see you are you said I'll have 9 friends over when finishing my sand track. I better get some footage of that sand track, my friend. I will I'll throw a GoPro at you if I need to.
You better get a scooper tire and just go get it yourself, man. We want to watch you ride, dude.
Coda is a monster on a dirt bike. I've taken a lot of time off. Not that I was ever really good anyways, but on top of it, I hadn't been on a dirt bike in like 6 or 7 years. So I've still got my training wheels on, we'll say.
That's I'm just gonna say Jeremy Martin broke his back and still came back. So
that's true.
I mean, Doug Henry is the same way. It's no problems, just solutions, man.
You just telling me Doug just said, don't be a bitch, dude. Don't be
yeah. That's Pretty much.
I saw a funny meme the other day, and it said it was a picture of Santa Claus looking over a guy doing something on his dirt bike, and he was like, "Son, I've seen you ride. You're getting a pair of testicles for Christmas."
That would be me. I haven't rode anything except for the desert floor in years, like probably over a decade, man. And that's one of my buddies was like, "Yeah, we'll bring out the old YZ2 smokers and we'll get out there and ride." And I'm like, first of all, I'll probably die, but I'm interested. Like, don't make fun of me, but I'll try it, especially in the woods, man. Like, all my friends ride wood stuff. So I'm like, I don't know about on the woods. Let's go to the little kid turn track, for a couple hours until I get used to it again. But
see, I'm much more comfortable in the woods on a bunch of rocks than I am on a track for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm the opposite way too. Like this weekend when I was out riding with them guys, they're both really good woods racers. Like the 30 plus class, if you've ever raced 30 plus class in any series, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're talking guys that probably ran A class or pro sport or retired pros or something like that they just go into the 30 plus class. So there is definitely zero shortage of talent when you get into the age things. And so I was like, oh yeah, like it'll be cool. Like they're my same age, like we all have fairly decent, fitness and stuff like that. Like it'll be fun. And then I get out there and they're just like boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, oh man, how'd you do that? But then we go out on the track with the jumps and stuff and I'm right at home, man. So I didn't have any problem keeping up there. As soon as there was a tree in the way though, it's a whole different story.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
So Coda said, my friend got on Moto Madness for crashing on the triple. Really?
I love that channel. Me and the kids watch it. So whenever they see it starting, they go, oh, and then as soon as they wreck, they go, oh. I was like, you guys are bad. Like,
we gotta get Coda racing this season.
Yeah.
Coda, if your dad doesn't give you a GoPro, hit me up. I'll get you a GoPro. Or we'll just call it an early birthday present or Christmas present, something like that. But we need to get Coda racing. So we gotta figure out how to do that. Coda, I'm texting your dad as soon as I'm done with this. We're figuring out how to get you racing. I'm putting him on the hot seat right now. Yeah,
let's do it, man.
And put together a team PTTG.
Right. I got to go up to the Northeast sometime this year, so maybe I'll come up there and add some pressure too. I'll be like, hey, like, we want to see him race. Let's see this. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
Oh yeah. That's the worst part about it is we all expected this stuff to be done by now, like all the virus stuff. And now we're like, is it done? Is it not? Am I allowed to go somewhere? Am I not? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
But it's, I'm just glad that the tracks don't seem to have suffered. The majority of tracks don't seem to have suffered very much. So it's glad I'm just happy to see our sport, man. And that's, with that, there was the last quarter of 2020, there was a 46% increase in major unit sales across the power sports industry.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was
huge.
Yeah, that's massive. Especially when you're talking about usually like 5% is a good quarter.
Right.
To almost do 10 times that is outstanding, and it was right in line with when a lot of the 2020 models hit the showroom floors. I know around here, you're still hard pressed. Guys were super excited to get 21 models because like people have had deposits on them since last summer, so it's like if you actually got your hands on one without putting a deposit like months and months in advance, you were super excited. So yeah,
I had a deposit on before I got my Yamaha. I had a deposit on the the Cowie 300. I can't remember the model. It's a 300 four-stroke.
A KLR, I think it is.
Maybe a KLR. I'm not quite sure though.
KFX maybe. There's a couple of they came out with
KLX. It's a KLX.
KLX.
300. Yeah. But it was it. I ended up waiting for it for so long that I was like, dude, I gotta pull my deposit on this, and then I ended up getting the Yamaha instead.
Dude, I waited 6 months for my race quad. And I forgot I put a deposit on it. It was so long. And then the dealership called me and they're like, hey, it finally came in. And I'm like, what? Oh yeah. I'll be out there later to get it, Like,
yeah, I didn't want to miss the entire riding season waiting for a bike to come in. And that's really what it was coming down to. Is like,
yeah,
I ended up getting like 2.5 months of good riding. And my dad and I ended up doing a lot of riding during that time period. So we got some good time.
I'm getting my brother into it. He's got my old 4x4, which I mean it's not a slouch. I've done a couple cross country races and stuff with it. I mean it's got some goodies on it, but I can tell he's starting to get the bug, man. He's like, hey, you want to go ride? Hey, you want to go ride? Hey, you want to go ride? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm still trying to build this thing so I can actually race it. And the time that I have, yes, I want to go ride, but the time that I have is pretty precious right now. So I want to get this thing ready. But yeah, I can do it later tonight. Let's go ride, So it's, it'll be a fun summer. I think there's a lot of people, man. There's a lot of people that are getting back into the sport. I don't know how many just fresh off the boat people we have, but I think, there's a lot of returning guys, a lot of guys that might have raced or rode when they were younger, getting back into it with their kids and stuff. So I'm excited just for the industry in general. I'm excited. So
yeah. We'll do our best. We'll do our best to flood your timelines with content. Content that shows that stuff that makes you happy instead of the stuff that makes you sad.
Yeah. I mean, some of it will be good, some of it will be bad, some of it will be ugly, but it's that's all part of the sport too, it's I'm gonna be at mutters, I'm gonna be, I'll probably catch people wrecking, I don't necessarily like blasting all that stuff out on social media, but it's like guys wrecking because I don't know how bad the injuries are at first, but it's just stuff like that. I think it'll be fun and it'll give me something else to do at the tracks too, just jump on real quick and talk to you some guys, and I'm excited about it, man. So
we've got a trials race coming through our neck of the woods, so I'll definitely be out there for the trials race too, because that stuff's, there's some pretty fun stuff that they do out in trials bikes.
Well, there you go, guys. We got to talk Jesse into just going random Facebook lives while he's at the track. Like, yeah,
man, we'll just do both of us, me, you, and Austin. Anytime, maybe that's what we do. Anytime you're near, you're outside near a motorcycle or some sort of an ATV, just flip on that Facebook Live.
I mean, with me, it might as well be Ed TV because I don't know if you forgot what I do for a living.
Yeah, but I mean, but all right, outside the warehouse too. Outside the warehouse.
All right, yeah, that's but it's I think it'll be fun, man. It'll be interesting, and I think it'll be something fresh. So I mean, hopefully everyone likes it, because it's why not, it's the sport we love. I don't just love pros. I mean, granted, they're the ones that we talk about the most, but I have no problem sitting here after Minios or Loretta Lynn's or even the big area qualifiers, and we can talk about all those guys too, because I watch them all the same. I spend all week for Minios moderating all their chat channels for them, so it's and just talking to people the whole time. So it's not, I mean, don't get me twisted that I'm not an amateur guy. That's my number one thing is amateur racing. I love it.
Oh yeah, you and I have talked about that. I hear the passion in your voice when you're talking about the amateurs.
Yeah. So it's it'll be fun, man, and I'm gonna try to pass on some of that passion to all our fun listeners. So,
well, I think that's episode 61, my friend.
yep, the old A-Ray episode.
Yep.
But we didn't break it and we didn't crash it. So, can we call it the A-Ray episode?
Let's do it. When I'll change the title of this one. It'll be called the episode.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's we got to break something.
Yeah, we got to break something.
But it's yeah, it was fun. This was a different episode, but it was a fun episode. We weren't trying to cram so much information so fast that we were forgetting it, which is nice. We were able to actually sit here and talk about some stuff that needs to get talked about, you know. So
yeah,
and it's now we just got to keep putting those Yamahas on the podium, boys. Let's go.
Yamahas. Yeah. And I think this conversational, I think this is our best foot forward.
Yeah.
So I think we'll try to keep this kind of going with the format. Yeah,
that's we definitely have to figure out the preview stuff, you know, which I'm sure we will. And then so I mean, bear with us, folks. We look like we know what we're doing most of the time, but we don't. We
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really figuring out. We're like, is this working? Did we like this? Were we comfortable with this? Were we not comfortable with this? And you know, they can probably see that because we're changing stuff constantly.
Yeah, definitely.
And just bear with us. But that's it for episode 61. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to share this episode with somebody. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button, whatever other buttons that you have. Just click buttons, man. Just click buttons.
Especially if you're in Rhode Island, man. We want everybody to hear that stop being hoonigans and just work together, man. Like, let's get it figured out.
We'll get this figured out. Jump over to powerthe2theground.com. Make yourself a free membership over there. Do all the things, the donations, the Do It for Dale. We'll put that up real quick. Don't forget to grab your Do It for Dale t-shirt. Use coupon code Do It for Dale, 20% off on that t-shirt. Also, Bro Taco, go to brotacofoods.com. Use the coupon code PTTG for 20% off some delicious hot sauce, and don't forget to check out some Sunstar brakes, chains, sprockets. All just hit Doug up if you need stuff. He's got your back, man.
Yeah, I actually got the work phone right now, so if you email me, I'm hot on it, man. I'm always on it. So we got the pick'ems.
Austin,
Taylor worked so hard on the pick'ems, and then we forgot.
Pick'ems. Don't forget to get your pick'ems in time for when the main event, when the broadcast starts is when pick'ems close. So if we get any picks in after that time, it's a no-go, no count. So yes, keep those going. Austin, we're going to get him involved in this with the Tiller tallies. As soon as we get our S together, we'll have that going. But that's it for episode 61. It's in the bag. Have fun at the races this weekend, and we will see you next week.